Let's do it. Week 16 kicks off tomorrow afternoon, so let's break down the great slate of games ahead. We call it Mad Minute. 1 minute for all three of you, 20 seconds each. KP, I'm looking at you. Let's start in San Francisco, where your boyfriend lives.
Yes, Jimmy G. I have so many of them. I'm going to look at the head coaches, the Hardy Boys, McVanahan, as I call them. It always cracks me up. And if you believe that the Niners are falling apart, the control in that experiment is Jared Goff. Because Mike Robb brought this up yesterday. Last time they played Jared Goff had 78 yards passing. 78. So if he lights it up this week and he does the Niners defense, maybe the Niners do have some problems.
Like it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Niners defense. This pass rush must come alive. Their hurries are down. Their sacks are down. They were averaging almost 4 sacks a game in the first 8 games. Over the last few weeks, a little less than 2 sacks per game. They have to get back after the quarterback, especially Jared Goff. They want to win this game.
The Niners can clinch the 1 seed if they win out.
I'm sorry, I jumped all over you.
I did that.
You know the line in Pulp Fiction that the night of the fight you're going to feel something that's
slight sting, messing with you.
Yeah. Messing with
Bleep
you.
pride.
Pride 49ers is going to kick in this week, and I am looking for that from Richard Sherman and Robert Saleh, but mostly from Sherman. He is the guy that gets these guys on point here. He's coming back. Pride.
We love a Robert Saleh here on the show.
Sure.
I was out with the game in Baltimore against the Niners. He's walking on the field. I'm like, is that Dwayne Johnson? Like, what's happening? He carries himself with a certain amount of swagger. Yeah. The Rams, by the way, need to win out and have the Vikings lose in order for them to get in. Let's go to Tampa Bay. We're going there for a showdown between the Bucs and the Texans. I have very little details about what's up your sleeve, but I've got a full flight to handle.
Captain Morgan?
What are you guys looking for in this one?
Yeah, I'm looking for Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, this passing game to come alive. I mean, you look at the Bucs pass defense, they're ranked 30th in the National Football League. They're great against the run, but they give up some big passes in the passing game. But Deshaun Watson, he's one of the stars of our league at throwing the football. Yeah, I like to see.
Listen, Captain Morgan's a pirate. That counts as show prep,
That's
okay?
right. That's it.
I am here for the Brashad Perryman redemption tour. I believe you referred to him as a sleeper on yesterday's show. I love when a guy kind of goes through. I don't love when he struggles, but when a guy does struggle, when all of a sudden you go somewhere else, you restart things and you start to experience that success. I love it. I want to see more of it.
Kay and I are going to be on a pirate ship. I'm not exaggerating. We're actually going to be on the ship. And, you know, Kay, sometimes off pirate ships, they shoot fireworks. And I'm just looking for tons of them in this game, specifically from Will Fuller. Will Fuller, the 5th, could have 200 yards in this game. I'm not kidding. The Bucs pass D is so bad. He is so fast. He gets him 60 yards at a time. I'm looking for a huge game from him. Huge.
And if you haven't been watching the Bucs on a national level, they've won 4 straight. This would be their 5th straight win. They're at home. There's apparently a cannon, a real one.
Fired a cannon.
You guys have all seen the video of Mooch getting terrified. I mean, I get scared when Nate scares me up on stage in a segment. I'm the last person that should be around a live, loose cannon.
That's good.
Well, I'm around Kyle all day.
That's me, baby.
All right, let's head to Cleveland. Garofalo, AFC North battle, Ravens, Browns. How do you see this one playing out? The Ravens lock up the #1 overall seed in the AFC.
The Ravens are going to be the #1 seed in the AFC. It's just a matter of when here. So that's really not the biggest thing for them. The biggest thing for them is to exercise the demons of their worst game this year. That statement that the Browns put on them, 530 total yards, 193 on the ground. Also, has anybody found Odell's earring yet? He lost
in that game?
that day. But I am looking for a much better performance.
Fields crew guy.
Get those demons, exercise those spirits there.
It is a wild watch to go back and look at that game.
Situation?
Someone took that. Oh, look what I found. Oh, I didn't know that. 40-18 was the score of that game, and it's easy to compare it. But let's think about this: the Ravens did not have Marcus Peters. There was Myles Garrett was all over the field for the Browns. The Ravens, if they're the team we think they are, should win this game by double digits. Really, they should. The Browns shipping cars, as Nate would say.
Yeah, the Browns' offense hadn't got themselves together yet. They hadn't found themselves. I look at this as the best offensive system in our game right now. It's really unstoppable. Teams haven't figured out how to stop it, right? It's true 11-on-11 football, so I think Lamar Jackson shows out, put up record numbers.
I took out my TI-89 calculator this morning and named Matthew Hamilton, and he told me that there was a 1% chance that the Browns could still make it into the playoffs.
1%?
1%. They obviously need to win out and get a ton of help, but we're here for all of that. It's Friday. We want to feel good. You know what makes me feel good? Those Walter Payton Man of the Year stories. The nominee.
Papa John's.
Is there a P Planet? No?
Not that I know of.
What's the Emperor's name?
Pluto.
What's the Emperor's name?
Palpatine.
That's what it is. Palpatine and Tatooine. You put it together, you get what you just
I
saw.
have no idea what that is.
What is it called? The Rise of
Skywalker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Star Wars. Now I
Is
got
it
it.
That's a
gonna go
deep cut,
towards the light
Skywalker.
side or the dark side? And just not a deep. Okay.
That's all your stuff.
I know.
That's your stuff,
I
just
know.
repurposed in a space
That's all
movie.
it is.
That's all.
That's why Star Wars is such a success.
There you go.
right.
We're all talking about the Vikings. We want to see them get into the playoffs and do some damage. They're going to need Dalvin Cook, I would think, to do that. He has over 1,100 yards rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns in just 14 games played. Is he going to be out there week 16?
Yes, that is the question they're asking in Minnesota, and that is why I'm here to try to provide you that answer there, Kay and guys. The Vikings, as we know, currently sit in the number 6 seed in the NFC, and when it's all said and done, they could finish anywhere from the number 1 seed to maybe even missing the playoffs. And Minnesota can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a Rams loss in of his injury.
Nah, it's part of the game. It's football. This ain't the end of the world. Y'all know that, right? We still playing football. Like, we winning. Like, we won Sunday. I'll be all right.
Setting the record straight there, Dalvin. Fingers crossed, meanwhile. In Pittsburgh, over Juju Smith-Schuster's knee injury, the Steelers wide receiver was a full participant in practice, which is a good sign. He could play Sunday against the Jets. He's missed the past 4 games. Now, Juju and company will be seeing their former teammate, yes, running back Le'Veon Bell. It marks Bell's first game against the Steelers since inking a 4-year deal in the offseason, although the game is at MetLife Stadium. Bell expects there to be a lot of Steelers fans and thinks the reaction will be split. He says, quote, I think half will be happy to see me and still love me, and half that hates me despises me. Now, Bell added he's going to show love regardless and will sign an autograph for anybody who's wearing his old Steelers jersey. So in his estimation, it is going to be a split crowd. Do we agree with his assessment?
Sure. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, they show up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not
They
sure
travel
about
well.
that. I'm sure a lot of fans in the audience on both sides. The most interesting part, and thank you so much, Will, is that he can wreck the Steelers' postseason hopes, of course.
Yeah.
The Steelers haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season long, but Lev Bell coming off a season-high 87 yards last
So what you're saying is
week.
Le'Veon Bell hadn't had 100 yards all season.
He hasn't had
Oh,
no,
I'm
no,
just
but
saying.
he could do it against the Steelers. All right, time for some woulda, coulda, shoulda. Oh, I hate this. It should be shoulda, woulda, coulda, right?
Yeah, I think
right?
they flipped it.
Right?
I thought it was what it could have.
Well, that we can disagree on. This week cannot. There's a crazy stat floating around. Since the NFL went to a 12-team playoff format, so take yourselves back to 1990. What were you doing in 1990?
6th grade.
Okay.
Social studies.
29.
I don't know.
29
bottle.
consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
At least 4 teams have qualified for the playoffs after missing it the year before. So let's think about this for this year. The Bills, the Packers, and the Niners have clinched. So there's your 3. If the Titans, the Steelers, or the Vikings make it, that makes it 4. Would you be surprised if we didn't have at least 4 new playoff teams this season? Like, is one of those
So
teams
one of
getting
those
So just
3
one
teams
have to
has
make
to get
it.
in
with
for
a
it?
2-game lead has to get into the
This is
playoffs.
happening.
Could be all 3.
What kind of, yes.
What team are you worried about?
Probably the Titans.
Of the 3 of those teams, yeah, probably the
Probably the
Titans. But
Titans.
one of those 2 teams is getting in.
Minnesota will
And Minnesota
probably
would have
get
to
in.
trip all over themselves to not get in.
Garofalo, we have a morning meeting. If you don't like the question, you could have told me an hour ago.
I wasn't awake for the morning meeting.
All right, so I like
in the
the
morning,
question.
Dennis?
I like it. And I think 5, 6 easily. It's also like, this is one of those things, if we would look at that full screen in August, would have just blown our minds.
Yeah.
And then all other teams should look at the Titans benched their franchise quarterback in the middle of the season. Sit down, you're not good anymore. The Steelers lost their franchise quarterback, lost their heir apparent franchise quarterback, and are starting a guy named after waterfowl, and they're going to get in the playoffs. So don't ever think that things are bad and you can't get in. I think they'll have 6 teams.
We're going to move along here. Mike Robinson's coming straight to you. Jerry Jones went on 105.3 The Fan yesterday talking about his quarterback's shoulder injury. Take a listen.
I'm totally convinced that he'll be in top form, and we've got to have him in top form, and he will be in top form. So I think that the situation has been described accurately, and these are things that guys play with and they practice with. So I think we're in good shape.
Dealing with what you've described as a painful injury that you've dealt with. You were quarterback, of course, at Penn State. Jerry seems convinced that Dak will be fine. Could the Cowboys team make noise in a playoff run without a healthy Dak Prescott?
Without Dak? Without Dak? No, I don't think so. I really don't. I don't.
Why not?
Look, Dak is playing some of the best football of his life right now. And when you have Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, you know, you got one-on-one on the outside. And Dak has made all the throws, right? He knows this offense. He's been with Kellen Moore for the last couple of years. So I'm going to say no. They can't make a real good playoff run without a healthy Dak Prescott. But I tell you one thing, the Dallas Cowboys, they do understand what drama is all about. That sells.
I hear that.
I don't know if they were just acting or not, but the Eagles players were in the locker room the other day saying they didn't even know, a couple of them, they didn't even know who the Cowboys' backup quarterback was.
I didn't until yesterday.
Cooper Rush, that's his name. And if you don't remember what Cooper Rush did in the preseason a couple of years ago, I'm going to remind you.
All right.
38 for 51, 398, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
They're trying to eliminate
Don't
preseason.
give me the
You're
stats
talking
the
about
next year, because
preseason?
that's the one
You're
that
bringing up Cooper Rush. There's trouble in
he was going to be
Dallas.
a sensation.
Somebody get me Jameel
in Dallas.
Showers on the phone.
And let me tell you something.
Go ahead, Mike.
If I'm thank you for bringing that up.
Cheaper.
If I'm Dak Prescott, everybody's talking like Dak's going to play this game because what it means for the NFC East. No, Dak's going to play this game because he doesn't want Cooper Rush to show people
He wants
what
the
he
money,
can do.
Lebowski.
He is getting paid. Imagine that $40 million number going like that if Cooper Rush comes in and plays a little bit.
Talk about it, G.
The question of can they make a run without him?
You were right.
They can't make a run with him.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about here? NFC this year, not for children or not for Cowboys. We throw up those standings in the hunt, all that, Kay. It's unsightly to see a 7-7 record in the left column. There's better records 2 columns over than the Cowboys. No, the answer is no.
I went to the playoffs
Well
with
said.
7-9.
Yeah, but you're
We
special
have
guy.
one speed round.
You have Marshawn.
Here are the rules. It is a one-sentence
awesome.
answer
Yes,
to
go.
this last one. Massive NFC North matchup on
Yes.
Monday night. Minnesota hosting Green Bay. Packers win, clinches the division. Vikings win, punches their ticket to the playoffs. One-sentence answer. Should we consider the Vikings a Super Bowl contender if they take down Green Bay?
No, because I don't think the Packers are a Super Bowl contender either. Not yet.
No question. That's not even a sentence. No verb in there.
Yes, but it depends on how they beat the Packers. I
Okay.
need to see Kirk Cousins win it with his arm.
Okay.
I want to see Aaron Jones have another good game. He had a great one against the Vikings. We'll talk about Aaron Jones a little bit. Huge game coming up this weekend. Battle in the NFC North, battle in the NFC